Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You are tuned into the not so official NCAA Pickem show. I am your host, Big T, as always. You'll have to pardon me if I'm running these a little tight together due to a technical issue by YouTube. Gonna have to string these together a little bit back to back. So, if you will, bear with me and we'll get started. All right, looking at the week two set of games, starting off in the ACC was Georgia Tech and South Florida. Yellow Jackets going to Raymond James Stadium into Tampa. Look for them to keep the ground game going and trying to keep the South Florida Bulls grounded as their high-flying offense put up a lot of numbers week one. So the Yellow Jackets going to try to pound it out, keep the ball out of their hands, and put some points on the board. Looking at the Georgia Tech, keeping it civil at 28-21. Next game slated up for the ACC is Penn State at Pitt. In a battle for the Keystone State, going to be held at Heinz Field. Look for James Franklin and the Nittany Lions to bounce back from last week as they have a point to prove after narrowly escape Appalachian State. So I'm thinking Penn State going to have something to prove. I'm thinking, 35-17 Penn State. Looking at the final ACC lineup, the Cavaliers of Virginia going into Indiana. I don't know why. I really like Indiana. I look to see a really balanced matchup between the two. However, the Hoosiers are at home. Going to take them, Indiana by 3. All right. Moving on to the SEC. The big game of the week. Clemson going into College Station to take on the Texas A&M Aggies. Both teams coming off really glorified scrimmages, so they should have all their ducks in a row and be ready to play this week. Clemson's D-line, monsters, all first rounders. Look for them to be the difference in Texas A&M's game. However, never count out the 12th man. Going to be Clemson by less than a touchdown. Going to be close. Next off, we have University of Georgia, South Carolina. Kirby Smart is building Alabama 2.0 in the West, and but that doesn't mean South Carolina is not a good team. They're a good young team with a lot of talent. Look for them to give the Georgia Bulldogs all they want. In a close one, I'm thinking 35-30. Still, Georgia, a lot of talent. They pull up the victory. Now, UK at Florida. The Wildcats come into the swamp with a 31-game losing streak. That is tough. However, Big Blue Nation almost pulled up the upset last year in Lexington with Florida squeaking out a 28-27 victory. This is what I think. I think Kentucky holds on. I think Benny Snell, been watching for a long time, great running back, going to be playing on Sundays. Going to be a good day for him as the Wildcats are going into the swamp. They break the streak on the back of the running game, and they hold on to hold off Florida in the fourth quarter. Put it in writing. All right? Like the chances. Like Big Blue Nation. Come on now. Don't let me down. All right. Going to the Big Ten. Colorado and Nebraska. 2 former Big 12 schools. Colorado coming off the big win last week with their win over in-state rival Colorado State. Cornhuskers usher in a new era with Scott Frost as their head coach coming from UCF last year. Be interested to see how that transpires. I'm going to go with Scott Frost in his debut, coming out with a big win in Lincoln for the Big Red Machine. Looking for the Brainiac Bowl next at Duke at Northwestern. Duke is coming off a big win last week, so was Northwestern. Battle of the brains because a degree from either school will get you a job, but I think the Wildcats pulled this one out. It's at home. Gotta take the home team, right? Of course. Finally, in the Big Ten, we have Iowa and Iowa State battle for the Cyhawk Trophy. Getting underway in Iowa City. Hawkeyes are going in as a 3.5-point favorite. I like it. I think that's what it's going to be. Hawkeyes field goal win. Going on to the Big 12, UCLA and Oklahoma. The future is bright for Chip Kelly and UCLA. I think in a year or two, but this is not it. All right, they're going into Norman. Oklahoma is firing on all cylinders. Kyler Murray looks like a stud. It's not going to be pretty. UCLA loses big in Norman. Sooners win big. All right. Next, we have Mississippi State at Kansas State. Now, I know everybody's saying Mississippi State vaulted defense outside, super great defensive line right outside of Clemson. Senior-led team, a lot of pluses to like about that squad. However, Kansas State is always tough at home. Bill Snyder, he is the Godfather. You don't cross the Godfather, right? Well, Bulldogs go into Manhattan, come out with a decent win. I'm going 10-point victory for the Bulldogs. Texas and Tulsa squaring off in Austin. Tulsa's got that potent spread attack for the last couple of years. Always looking for a big upset. I think Texas is going to rebound from the Maryland game last week and put the defensive clamps down on Tulsa and score enough points to beat them. Just my opinion, but they get Longhorns get their first win of the year. They're home. How about that? All right, Pac-12, Michigan State at Arizona State. Coach Edward looking to test his squad against a tough Big Ten school. I think Michigan goes in there and tries to play road grader. A little bit warm in Arizona, but Sparty still wins by 3. USC at Stanford. The Trojans go into Palo Alto looking to make a statement in conference play and show that they are the power in the South. However, there's a guy that goes about 200 pounds, likes to run the ball, goes by Bryce Love, plays for Stanford. Don't expect him and the big uglies on that offensive line not to have something to say about it. I think Stanford welcomes their guest and sends them home with an L in the stat book. Big ugly game. Stanford by 10. But definitely one you want to stay up for. All right. Lastly, Arizona at Houston. Arguably the nation's best defender in Ed Oliver. He will be taking on Arizona's Khalil Tate, Arizona's own dynamic playmaker. I just think of Warren Sapp chasing around the chicken in Brett Favre jersey. I think that's going to happen in Houston as Kevin Sumlin goes back to his roots. And I think he comes away with a win. I think Kevin Sumlin goes back to Arizona with a smile on his face and a W in his pocket. Lastly, Cupcake of the Week, looking at Savannah State and Miami. So last time these teams played, 77-7, Miami had no mercy on the Canes, and I kind of felt kind of bad for them because, I mean, really, who takes that kind of a beating? Unfortunately, they lost bad against LSU. So look for Mark Richt to play everybody and their brother on the field Saturday against Savannah State. I'm looking at the Canes plus 52. And I'm not even sure that's going to be enough because, I know they're mad. I know the Canes are mad. But that's the slate for the week's game. That's my breakdown. If you have some, if I did mention your team, I'm sorry. If you want to see me cover some different teams, please by all means tell me. Um, if you want the spreadsheet for the week, by all means, hit me up, direct message, or just leave a comment with your email down there, and I'll get one to you. As always, let me go. Let me know how I did, what I didn't do, and please like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you next time for the recap show of week 2. Thanks.